So I've been using the new M4 iPad Pro for weeks now, and it's safe to say that I'm absolutely addicted to this thing. It's my first ever iPad Pro that I've ever owned, and I wanted to dive deep into these 5 reasons on why this iPad has quickly become my everything device. The new display, the new Magic Keyboard, Apple Pencil Pro, 5G, and my favorite apps. And as a bonus, I'll also share a downfall that has taken away from this generally really good experience. But first, let's dive into the first reason on why I love this thing after 3 weeks, which has to do with the new tandem OLED display. I spent a lot of time using this iPad outside because the new display has enabled that to be possible. It goes up to 1000 nits of brightness, which is a substantial increase from the past. It even gets brighter than my MacBook Pro outside, which is very impressive. As I've said in the beginning, this is my first ever iPad Pro, so being able to finally experience 120Hz ProMotion on iPad for an extended period of time has been a treat. It's buttery smooth to scroll and navigate web pages and applications with this tech. I can't imagine going back to a regular iPad anymore. And it doesn't end there. This new display has new OLED technology that makes things look beautiful and crisp on here. Honestly, no hyperbole, if you're looking for the fanciest Netflix and YouTube machine, this iPad Pro takes the crown for the best looking portable display easily in the world. And to tie this all together, I'm so glad I went with the 13-inch size over the 11-inch version. It displays so much more information, making it a lot easier to be productive on this in my opinion. I've always found the 11-inch to be too small for an iPad to be used like a regular laptop computer, and from what I've researched online, that seems to be the unpopular opinion. It seems like a lot more people prefer the 11-inch over a 13-inch iPad, and I'm here to bust that myth. Like, if you are debating between the two, 13 inches is not too big, first of all, and it's big enough to actually feel like you can get a lot of work done. I've always felt the 11-inch just too small for my taste. And speaking of productivity, the new Magic Keyboard is the second reason why this iPad has become my everything device. It's the thing that turns this into a viable computer for 80 to 90% of the stuff I do. Typing on this keyboard is incredibly comfortable, especially if you get it with the 13-inch iPad, as the footprint of this keyboard is more or less equal to the standard keyboards you'd use at a desk. I've been really appreciating the new aluminum design under the keyboard as well over the last few weeks. It's added a nice flare style to the keyboard, and it gives that familiar feeling of using a regular MacBook, which is usually made of a similar aluminum. The trackpad is bigger, and over the weeks, it's been noticeably more comfortable to use and navigate with. The new haptic feedback under the glass of the trackpad has been great, so every time you interact with it, you do get a bit of feedback there, which is really nice. I do need to preface though that this is not a perfect product. I talk about a few things that I don't like in my full review of this Magic Keyboard, which will be linked below, but the gist of it is that it's not a pleasant experience to use on your lap and on uneven surfaces. All of the good experiences I have on this keyboard is exclusively on flat surfaces, so take that for what you will. But another good experience I've had over the weeks is my time with the new Apple Pencil Pro. But before I continue, I wanted to share something that's really enhanced my iPad experience. I recently got my hands on some accessories from ESR, who are the partner of today's video, and let me tell you, this stuff is game changing. First off, the Shift magnetic case. This thing is all about versatility. It's got 6 unique use modes, so whether I'm watching a movie, typing up a script, or writing out notes, it's got me covered with stable angles and adjustable viewing positions. It even mounts to anything with magnets like a fridge, which is honestly pretty cool. The detachable magnetic back case does also ensure my iPad is always protected, and it's the thing that makes switching between all these modes a breeze. But what really blew me away is the new paper field magnetic screen protector. If you're into drawing or note-taking like me, this is a must-have. It mimics the feel of real paper, making it incredibly satisfying to use with your Apple Pencil Pro. The specially treated surface creates just the right amount of friction, transforming your iPad into something like paper. Plus, it's super easy to attach and remove thanks to the strong magnetic edges, so you can switch back to the crystal clear display whenever you want. And to clarify, this also does work seamlessly with tempered glass screen protectors if you do want to use both. So if you are looking to boost your productivity and creativity on your iPad, I highly recommend checking out ESR's new iPad accessories at the link below. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Thank you, ESR, for partnering with me on today's video. All right, now back to Apple Pencil Pro. I've been recently getting into note-taking on my iPad to learn new things that I'm interested in. It's a work in progress, honestly. A little bit weird to write on a screen and even just take notes in general, since I'm just so far removed from my time in school and in university. And also my hand hurts when I write because I'm not used to it anymore. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but anyways, it's been a blast to use this new pencil, as it features a new squeeze option where in an app like GoodNotes, for example, it'll automatically open up additional tools for me to select. And this is not a gimmick, like this actually works really well, and it ultimately speeds up my note-taking workflow and makes it more enjoyable. What's really cool is that you do get haptic feedback when you squeeze the pencil that is subtle and satisfying at the same time, and you get that same feedback when you do double tap to switch tools quickly. The one thing though that rounds out this entire iPad experience for me personally, it makes this feel different in a significant way to my MacBook, is the ability to have a constant 5G connection. What that does for me is allow me to virtually work anywhere on a computer that can do 80 to 90% of the things that I need it to do. And that's huge. Now, if my Mac ever came with built-in 5G connectivity, then this would be an entirely different conversation. But it's been years now. It's only available on iPad, and I don't see Apple bringing 5G to the laptops anytime soon. And it's one of the big reasons why I actually appreciate the iPad so much. And to be clear, yeah, like everyone always tells me, you can use a hotspot, you can use public Wi-Fi, but they aren't anywhere near as fast nor efficient. And unless you've tried 5G before, like, you don't understand how convenient it is to have it just ready to go on a computer like an iPad. And also, I just don't trust public Wi-Fi as well, especially because I always do work with sensitive documents and information all the time. But regardless, with this 5G connection, the one thing that it allows me to do as well is gain access to my favorite apps on iPad, which I felt I should share today, since it's really the apps that make or break this iPad experience. Notion is great on iPad. It's virtually almost perfect, very identical to the Mac version. Other than that, there's still no way to open up an additional window. So please, Notion devs, let us iPad users open up more than one window. It has an M4 chip. It can handle it. ChatGPT on iPad works wonderfully, and it's my companion to when I work and research on this computer. I've also been having a lot of fun using Fitness Plus on my iPad. The screen is big enough to view a workout and get some core work done or do some yoga to help contribute to my half marathon training that I am doing on a daily basis. Fun fact, that run is on October 19th at the Toronto waterfront downtown. If any of you guys are there, you'll probably see me. Probably not, there's like over 10,000 people doing this. I don't know. Lightroom has also been fantastic. I've actually been using my iPad Pro to edit and create the thumbnails on my channel on there over the last few weeks. I haven't come across any compromises yet on this app for the kind of work that I do, which is really good. GoodNotes is my go-to note-taking app now. It actually used to be Notability, but I despise apps that use subscription models, and that's what they do now. And GoodNotes is a one-time purchase with an incredibly deep suite of features that do help aid my note-taking journey. And finally, most importantly, Safari on iPad is excellent. It works exactly the way it does on my Mac. I haven't personally run into any difference in experience in Safari between both devices, which is a huge win for iPad. Like, that is like the app that I use the most on my computer because I do a lot of research and, you know, I do a lot of emails and stuff like that. And it's one of the only apps on iPad as well that allows you to open up multiple windows on iPad OS. So I hope more developers follow suit here. Like, this is an M4 iPad. Let your apps open up multiple windows, please. Anyway, we've seen some of the reasons why I love my iPad Pro, but nothing is perfect. And to contrast what we've discussed today, the thing that I'm not a fan of is its battery life. I don't hear too many people comment about this. Like, this might be a hot take, but I find that if you really try to use this iPad as your everything device, like the way that I have over the last few weeks, this thing does not last a whole day. I can kill this in half a day if I am constantly working on it. And keep in mind that doesn't include any like kind of video editing or like really super heavy applications. This is just basic apps like Safari, Notion, ChatGPT, those kind of apps. In parallel to something like my MacBook Air, for example, if I do that exact same workflow on there, I don't notice that device's battery drain nearly as fast. But with my iPad, if I glance over at the percentage every few minutes, it's going down. Okay, but I do need to preface that the battery life is not terrible. I still get a decent chunk of hours on here. You can even look at the screenshot where I can show you my average screen on time. But in my opinion, I think this could be better, and I hope Apple keeps this in mind for future updates. If you guys want to know more about my iPad experience, I actually did post a full review a few weeks ago that you can click right here to watch now.